with first-class home inspection, thorough, professional, and ready to step up to the plate. And they have helped sponsor a wonderful show tonight. We are going to start with some of my friends that we have down here. We have the Johnston School of Irish Dance. They are going to perform for you before we get to our national anthem and our player introductions. So we're going to throw it up to the booth, and George is going to cue them on up.
I think there's more.
I thought I buy you steak dinner, you knocked him out. I wanted that guy yesterday, not these guys. Oh, the guy yesterday? Oh, he was a. I kept telling the umpire,
Wonderful performance. We appreciate that very much. And we're about to throw it right back up the booth for player introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the Syracuse Wildcats. Batting first, the designated hitter, number 14, Brian White. Center field, number 10, Chase Hadlin, batting second. Batting third, right field, number 11, Hector Gonzalez. Batting fourth, left field, second baseman, number 3, Sean Stoney. Batting sixth, first baseman, number 9, Oliver Ray. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 16, Jackson Grant. Batting eighth, shortstop, number 19, Mason Smith. Batting ninth, third baseman, number 0, Helen Penn. The starting pitcher for the Saltcats this evening is number 23, Luke Van Martyr. Please welcome the Syracuse Saltcats with head coach Mike Martinez.
I'd love to see somebody first pitch. First pitch. You're ready. You're ready. The majority of them still weren't doing it. You're still doing this. Because you were striking and you were like this. I'm not lying. So that's why it was there. Instead of that, remember I said stand tall. So you can look down at the ball. You're looking at the ball. Then that's a different thought process. This is
Ladies and gentlemen, and now we have your Watertown Rapids. Batting first, Nate Madison. Batting second, we have Nate Figueroa. In the 3 hole, we have Scott Lamont. They remember him, our cleanup hitter, Xavier Miles. Batting fifth, we have Jorge Rodriguez. Batting sixth and ninth, for your Watertown Rapids, we have Tommy O'Castle. Batting seventh, we have David Asensio. In the 8th hole, we have Sam Finarelli. And batting ninth, Rex Chiricata. Your starting pitcher tonight for the Watertown Rapids is Lucas Ayala. The rest of your Watertown Rapids is head coach Cameron Hartstein and assistant coach Matt Segalia. Officiating tonight's game behind home plate, we have Mike Pepperini, and out in the field we have Kevin Simon. And now back to Rachel to introduce our national anthem singing.
Ladies and gentlemen, performing our national anthem today is Pat Gaines. Pat is a 50-plus years volunteer between EMS and the fire department. Please rise if you're able and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bomb bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star
right, baseball fans, there you have it, our starting lineups for both teams. Don't worry, I will review them with you.
And now, for your first pitch to play ball, we have from First Class Home Inspections, we have Greg Stickle and his substitute, Nate, throwing out the first pitch tonight.
First Home Inspections, our sponsor for this evening, throwing out the first pitch. And there you have it.
Play ball.
And now we can begin. So, coming into town this evening, with a 10-7-1 record, it is the first place Syracuse Saltcats. They're coming in to play against our beloved Watertown Rapids, who started off in first place and currently are struggling a little bit, down in last place with a 7-game losing streak, looking to turn that around here today. Again, one of the things that we've pointed out before about these Watertown Rapids is they never give up. They all know that every single one of them contributes in some way to the offense and defense of this team, and none of them seem to put too much weight on anyone's shoulders for that. They share the burden, and as a result, they're able to really never ever be too far down and away. So here we go, get things started. For the Syracuse Saltcats, leading off, number 14, Brian White. He is today's designated hitter, leads the team with a .462 batting average in 18 games. That first pitch is a ball, and a painful one at that, as is common courtesy. Rodriguez is walking the ball back out to the starting pitcher, which is none other than Lucas Aiello. Second pitch from Lucas in there, called strike one. Lucas coming in this evening with a 4.82 ERA over 9.1 innings. He's given up 9 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned. That ball is popped up. Rodriguez looking for it, not going to get there as it lands out of play on the other side of the gated fence there. So 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count on Brian White. Again, Brian with 30 hits in 65 at-bats, 3 doubles, 2 triples, 18 RBIs. That ball misses for ball number 2. The Syracuse Saltcats do not have a home run credited to anyone on their team yet this season. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and that is in there, called strike 3. So with 1 out, that'll bring up number 10, the center fielder, Chase Hagland. Hagland, playing center field, comes in with a .269 batting average. That's 14 hits and 52 at-bats. The right-hander has 3 doubles and 2 triples, just like Brian White. And just like Brian, that first pitch is a ball to Chase Haglund. Here's the 1-0 from Aiello. And that is fouled back into the glove of Rodriguez for strike number 1. Haglund does have 14 stolen bases. There's a swinging strike. So if he gets on base, we know that he is tempted to steal. And that ball is hit out into center field, shallow center, and grabbed by Nate Madison for out number 2.
Batting for the Cubs, number 11, Hector Gonzalez.
So with 2 outs now, that'll bring up the right fielder, number 11, Hector Gonzalez. Gonzalez is batting .250 on the season. 8 hits and 32 at-bats. Ball is popped up out of play, strike 1. So 8 for 32, all of them singles. He also has 11 walks and 11 strikeouts. Aiello getting his signs from Rodriguez. And there's a call, strike 2. 0-2 on Gonzalez here in the first inning. The 0-2 pitch from Aiello is outside, ball 1. One ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. That pitch just misses outside. 2-2 on Gonzalez. Here's the 2-2. And that ball is sent down the right field line and foul. Rex Shirakawa jogging out there to pick that ball up. Ball's thrown in, but we'll get a new one for Aiello. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the first inning for Syracuse. And Aiello deals one, and that is laced into left field for a 2-out single. And Hector Gonzalez is on. So now with 2 outs and a runner on first, that'll bring up John Tomshow, the left fielder, number 30. Tomshow is 20 for 57. That's a .351 batting average for the right-hander. He's got 8 RBIs. First pitch misses, ball 1. Gonzalez over on first base there. He has 12 stolen bases to his credit, and it's enough for the 3rd most on the team. That ball is in foul territory. Finarelli over, makes the grab for the final out of the inning. Oh no, he missed it. What's that? I thought he did. Boy, I am wrong. He did not catch that. Who knew? I should pay closer attention. Runner goes, and the throw, the throw is short. Still, it got there in time, but Damon Asensio not able to hold on to that ball. So that puts Gonzalez at second with a stolen base. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Aiello pitches, throw down the third. Oh, it goes into the outfield. So stolen third base ends up being a run on an error. So that is 1-0 for Syracuse. The count is 3-1, and that is ball 4. So Tom Show works a walk after all of that. Syracuse with a 1-0 lead, and the second baseman, number 3, Sean Stoney, stepping up to the plate. Stoney's batting .155. That's 9 hits in 58 plate appearances, or 58 official at-bats. 3 of those 9 hits are doubles. There goes Tom Show. Swing and up. Foul ball. So that's a strike on Stoney. And Tom Show will retreat back to first base. So 1 ball and 1 strike is the count on Stoney. Throw over to first. And Tom Show dives back in time. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Tom Show goes. And Rodriguez just allows Tom Show to take second. The pitch is a called strike. So 1-2 is the count on Stoney. And Tom Show is now at second base with 2 outs. That pitch is low, 2-2. So Rodriguez obviously figuring he's just 1 or 2 pitches away from getting out of this inning. No need to make matters worse, throwing the ball out at second base and potentially throwing it away after unsuccessfully getting an out at second and third. This ball popped up back, and Rodriguez runs out of room. So Tom Show is going to go back to second, and we will do this one more time. 2-2 count to Sean Stoney. Aiello's been great so far in this first inning. Certainly don't want to lose Stoney here and extend this first inning. And that ball misses. 3-2 is the count. So the first 2 batters of the game got out. 1 strikeout looking, 1 popped out to center. Then we had a single, 2 stolen bases, ball thrown away at third. And that throw down to third is not in time, stolen base. And the pitch is a ball. So ball 4 is the count. So Stoney with the walk, back-to-back walks, and we've got runners at the corners now. And pitching coach Matt is coming out to have a conversation with Lucas Aiello. So certainly Coach McGillicuddy was hoping that we'd get through the first inning here without having to have a conversation, but conversation needed. Matt is done in field, hanging out for another couple of words from Rodriguez to Aiello before they all retreat back to their positions. So runners at the corners with 2 outs, and up comes the number 6 batter, Oliver Ray, the first baseman. First pitch is high for ball 1. Oliver Ray batting .200. Shows bunt, pulls back, throw down to second is in time, and Sean Stoney caught stealing before John Tomshaw was able to score at home. So only 1 run in the first inning for the Saltcats, and the Rapids are coming to bat. All right, so the lineup for the Rapids, leading off and playing center field, number 11, Nate Madison. Batting second in left field, number 6, Nate Figueroa. My goodness, Figueroa. Batting third, the designated hitter, number 14, Scott LaMountain. Batting fourth, the third baseman, 37, Xavier Miles. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 19, Jorge Rodriguez. Batting sixth, at the shortstop, number 12, Tommy O'Castle. Batting seventh, the second baseman, Damon Asensio. Batting eighth, the first baseman, number 49, Sam Finarelli. And in the number 9 spot, number 9, right fielder, Rex Shirokata. First pitch to Nate Madison's high, ball 1. Madison has 19 at-bats and 7 hits. Oh, that ball is foul. And that caught the side of a blue truck. There's a swing and a miss for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Nate is 7 for 19. That's good enough for a .368 batting average. Those hits include a double and a triple. Pitch low and inside, ball 2. Two balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Luke Van Marter, and that is lifted into center field. Going back and making the catch in center field is Chase Hageland. So with one out, that'll bring up Nate Figueroa. Figueroa is batting .256. He's got one triple. And he lays off that first pitch, which is a called strike. 0-1 is grounded, chopped to third. Oh, and it bounces off of third baseman Kellen Penz. And so that is an error, E5, as Figueroa reaches first base. That brings up Scott LaMountain, the designated hitter for the Watertown Rapids. Throw over to first, diving back Nate Figueroa, able to reach in there with his foot, so you didn't have to dirty his uniform just yet. But that time's coming. LaMountain drives this ball into the gap. One hopper fielded in center field by Chase Hageland, and coming into third is Nate Figueroa. Nice long single by Scott LaMountain allows Figueroa to get all the way to third because of the placement of that ball. It being on the right side of the outfield allows for enough time for a speedy base runner like Nate Figueroa to go first to third, especially since he was leaning towards stealing anyway. So now with runners at the corners, here's Xavier Miles stepping up to the plate. First pitch swinging, and that ball goes into the outfield, and we have a tie ball game here in Watertown. So runners at first and second. That's an RBI single for Xavier Miles. And here's Jorge Rodriguez, the catcher for tonight's game. He's batting .304, 14 for 46 with 5 doubles and 3 home runs. First pitch to Jorge. He holds off. That ball drops out of the strike zone. Ball one. Here's the 1-0. Oh, check swing, catches the bat and goes up into the netting. 1 ball and 1 strike. Nobody's holding the runners on. Here's the 1-1. That drops in there for a called strike 2 on Rodriguez. Both base runners go back and customarily touch the base. No need to do that, though. And I've noticed if you don't, it really aggravates a pitcher. Here's ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Rodriguez. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and fouled back. We'll do that 2-2 pitch again. Two balls and 2 strikes on Rodriguez. LaMountain at second, Miles at first. And there is strike 3 for out number 2. So that'll bring up number 12, the shortstop, Tommy O'Castle. And boy, do I like Tommy's song. O'Castle batting an even 200, drives this ball into center field, and it goes right to Chase Hagelin. He barely had to move at all, so that is a line drive out. But the Rapids are able to tie the game at 1 in their half of the first. And after 1 inning of play, we are tied at 1. Coming up in the top of the second for the Syracuse Saltcats, it's going to be Oliver Ray again, followed by Jackson Grant and Mason Smith. So we'll be right back with inning number 2 from Alex T. Duffy Fairgrounds here in Watertown, home of your Watertown Rapids. All right, while we wait for Oliver Ray to step up into the batter's box, or I guess once we wait for Lucas Aiello to finish warming up, let's take a look at these Syracuse Saltcats. They come in with a 10-7-1 record. They won their last game, so they have a 1-game winning streak. They are better at home, 6-1-1 record at home, 4-6 on the road. So perhaps that means we've got a fighting chance here to come away with a win for the Rapids, who, as we mentioned, have been struggling as of late. But they're on the cusp of greatness. We're just waiting to see it happen. So here's Oliver Ray to get things started here in the second inning for the Saltcats. Lucas Aiello catches the inside edge for strike number 1. That pitch is low, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. There's a swing and a miss for Ray, who is batting 200 with 9 singles. He has 17 walks and 12 strikeouts. That shows some good patience at the plate, and he thought that was called strike 3. So did everybody on the other side of him, but not the umpire. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Oliver Ray. Here's the 2-2 from Aiello, swung on and fouled back and out of play. We'll do the 2-2 pitch again. Here's the 2-2. Aiello deals. That pitch is high, 3-2. Here's the payoff pitch. And it's there. Call strike 3. out number 1. Ray may be wondering how that was a strike and the other pitch was not, because the other one certainly looked like a strike, especially if you're going to tell me that that one was. Anyway, with 1 out, that brings up Jackson Grant. Jackson, the catcher this evening. Pitch high, ball 1. Jackson is batting .190 with 8 hits in 42 at-bats, 10 walks, 8 strikeouts. And he hits this one into left field, diving, but missing is Nate Figueroa.
Batting for the Saltcats, number 19, Mason Smith.
So that ends up being a double for Jackson Grant. So with 1 out and a runner on second, that'll bring up Mason Smith, the shortstop for the Syracuse Saltcats. Check swing is a ball. Mason has 15 strikeouts and 4 balls in 53 plate appearances. There's a swing and a miss, strike 1. Aiello gets his sign from Rodriguez. That ball is fouled back and out of play. One makes it over the grandstand. One ball, 2 strikes with 1 out and a runner on second here in the second inning, tied at 1. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. So with 2 outs and a runner on second, that'll bring up Kellen Penns to the plate. Kellen's batting .200 with 2 hits and 10 at-bats. No walks and 1 strikeout. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Here's the 0-1 from Aiello. And that is foul. Goes off of Rodriguez, strike 2. He's going to have to run after that ball. No balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the second inning. A runner on second for Kellen Penns. Here's the pitch from Aiello. Swung on and lifted out into center field, and coming over to make the grab, Nate Madison for out number 3. So that'll do it for the Saltcats here in the second inning. After 1.5 innings, we're tied at 1. Coming up to bat in the bottom of the second for the Watertown Rapids, it's the 7-8-9 batters. Damon Asensio, Sam Finarelli, and Rex Shirakawa all due up here in the second. we have in-stand entertainment. There is nothing like coming to a Rapids game. Irish dancers, beer on tap. Overcast days, still warm out. First pitch to Damon Asensio in there, called strike one. There is no better place to be than Alex T. Duffy Fairgrounds Ballpark, home of your Watertown Rapids. Pitch misses, ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike on Damon Asensio. Check swing is a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the 2-1, and Damon sends this out into left center field, and diving after it is Haglund. He's not able to get there, and rolling into second, it's a leadoff double for Damon Asensio and the Watertown Rapids. That'll bring up first baseman number 49, Sam Finarelli, to the plate. Sam's batting 186, 8 for 43 fouls off that first pitch. Boy, did he have visions of grandeur on that one. He saw that ball going a long, long way. Just hoping to add to that RBI count. Asensio was batting 259. Now he's 8 for 28. So that's a little bit better than 259. Here's the 0-1 to Finarelli. Check swing, ball inside, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Sam. No outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Asensio leading off second with his leadoff double. Well, and that was a breaking pitch that drops into the strike zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 to Finarelli. That pitch in there, called strike 3. So Finarelli down looking. So with 1 out and a runner in scoring position, that'll bring up Recht Shirakata, number 9. Recht is batting 231 on the season. That's 6 for 26 with a triple and 7 walks. And 9 strikeouts, but we don't need to talk about those, do we? Shows bunt, pulls back, ball 1. Here from this angle, we can see Damon Asensio's lead off second and his secondary when he takes it. There's his secondary. Recht, watch that one go by outside. 2-0 on Recht Shirakata. Here's the 2-0 to Shirakata. That's in there, called strike 1. 2-1 on the right fielder. That pitch is, just catches the inside edge of the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Shirakata. the 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Down goes Shirokata, swinging. So with 2 outs and a runner at second, that'll bring up Nate Madison. You can see Jackson Grant behind the plate there, tapping the top of his head to indicate to everyone on the field that we're at the top of the order. Nate Madison, the #1 batter in the lineup. First pitch is high and inside, ball 1. Van Marter finally gets his sign. Oh. Now quick timeout. Here's the 1-0. That one misses, ball 2. Two balls and no strikes on Nate Madison. Van Marter checks the runner, now he deals. There's a fastball, called strike 1. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Van Marter, and that is fouled off by Nate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and Damon Asensio on second here in the second. Pitch up and in, ball 3 on Nate Madison. Here's the payoff pitch from Van Marter, and that is popped up. First base side. And it is not caught. So a new life for Nate Madison. Let's see what he's able to do. That ball right up against the fence, just like the one that Finarelli was unable to catch. Here's the payoff pitch. Van Marter shaking off Jackson Grant, which tells me this is going to be a breaking pitch high. And there it is, and that ends up being a walk. And Nate Madison takes first base. We've got runners at first and second for Nate Figueroa. So Figueroa looking to add to his RBI count. That pitch is high, ball 1. Figueroa has 7 RBIs on the season. He'd love to walk away with 10. Who doesn't like hitting home runs? Pitch low and outside for ball 2 on Nate Figueroa. Here's the 2-0 from Van Marter, and that's in there for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. And Figueroa pops out one up. It's in shallow left field, and coming over and making the grab is the shortstop, Mason Smith. And that'll do it for out number 3 and the Rapids here in the second. So they strand 2, and after 2, we are tied at 1 run apiece. Coming up in the top of the 3rd inning for the Syracuse Saltcats, it's the top of the order. Brian White, Chase Haglund, and Hector Gonzalez coming up to bat here in the 3rd inning at Alex T. Duffy Fairgrounds. I am the Dan Dallin, a positive influence, and we'll be back in just a moment. Stepping up to the plate to start inning number 3, it's the top of the order, designated hitter number 14, Brian White. Brian struck out looking his last plate appearance. He watches ball 1 sail by here in the 3rd. Brian is a sophomore at Pace University. That's ball 2. Typically plays the outfield at Pace. 5'11", 180 pounds. And he hits that one. Check swing goes into the, just over Asensio's head. It's a leadoff single for Brian White. So with a runner on first, that brings up Chase Haglund, the center fielder. He popped out to center his last time out. That first pitch misses, ball 1. That's another ball out of the strike zone. This one low, 2-0 on Chase Haglund. Haglund is a sophomore at Marist University. Coming in at 6 foot tall, 180 pounds. He's got a little more leverage than Brian White. Everybody steps off for a moment. Now we're back, re-engage. Aiello checks the runner, and the runner goes. There's the throw to second, in time. It almost looked for a moment that may have been, almost looks like that ball almost was dropped. Some question, conversation between the umpires. But it looks like the call is going to stand. 3-1 is the count. And that is ball 4 to Chase Haglund. So with 1 out and a runner on first, that brings up the right fielder, number 11, Hector Gonzalez. Gonzalez got the first hit of the game. He also got the first stolen base, and then he got the second stolen base of the game, and then he got the first run of the game. And that first pitch is a strike to Hector Gonzalez. 0-1 is the count on Gonzalez. Short lead for Haglund. Here's the pitch and a swing and a miss. Strike 2. The old heater gets by Gonzalez. 0-2 count. Aiello. Runner goes. Ball bounces on the plate. Gets away from Rodriguez. That's going to allow Haglund to come around to third. Throw to third. Not in time. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and a runner on third now. With 1 out here in the third. Yellow would like a new ball, and he gets one. The home plate umpire would like 3 new balls, and he's on the waiting list. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Aiello. Another skipper off the ground, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner on first. Third, I mean, not first. Third. Pitch is high, 3-2. So Aiello almost looks like he tried to compensate for the ball being thrown low. Went too high that time. Oh, those last 2 pitches that were low looked more like sliders or slurves. Here's the payoff pitch, and it is a ground ball to second, on to first. Oh, it's thrown away into the dirt. Finarelli not able to scoop it. There wasn't enough juice on it, so he couldn't scoop it up into his glove. Had Asensio thrown it harder, he tried to just lob it in, and as a result, the ball appears to have just gone off target. And so that runner scores. It's a throwing error. So Gonzalez reaches on an E4. First pitch to John Tomshow is in there, called strike 1. Tomshow walked his last time at bat, was left stranded at third. Here we've got 1 out. Runner goes. Oh, he was caught, and the ball thrown from Aiello misses Finarelli. Now it's picked up by Shirokata. He throws it home, and that holds Hector Gonzalez at third. It's unfortunate. As a pitcher, he guessed right, or Hector left a little early, but then Aiello, in his adjustment to try to throw it over to first to Finarelli, just threw it way out of Finarelli's reach. That pitch home is popped up and out of play. That lands over in the next to the boathouse, where you can pick up all of your Rapids and Wolves merchandise. So here's the 0-2 pitch from ILO to Tomko. That's outside, ball 1. So there's the small lead that Gonzalez is taking. There's a pitch, and that's fouled back and out of play over the grandstand. We'll do the 1-2 pitch again. Now, you never saw Gonzalez come into the frame because he's not taking a very big secondary lead. He's only got 90 feet or less to go. However, you can ask IKF about that on the Toronto Blue Jays, who his lack of a secondary lead cost them the World Series. There's a ball that is caught in center field, play at home, not in time. So it's a sac fly for John Tomshow. And he comes away with an RBI. And now there are 2 outs on Syracuse here in the third. They have a 3-1 lead as Sean Stoney steps up to the plate. First pitch inside on Stoney for ball 1. Stoney walked in his first at-bat and was the final out as he was thrown out trying to steal second back in the first inning. That pitch misses low and inside, ball 2. 2-0 on Sean Stoney. That pitch is high, 3-0. Stoney is a junior at Lincoln University. Stepping in, he's standing in that batter's box at 6 foot 2 inches tall, 200 pounds. And that pitch misses high for ball 4. 4 straight balls. And the second walk of Sean Stoney as he trots on down to first base. That'll bring up Oliver Ray with 2 outs. So last time Ray was at bat with Sean Stoney at first base, Stoney got thrown out. And looks like we've got some activity is going on in the bullpen for the Rapids. Trotting out to the bullpen is Will Bartoli. And who is doing stretches down there? Looks like Tyler Sovey is getting loose in the bullpen for the Rapids. There was activity in the Saltcats bullpen earlier, but that activity has ceased. It was some throwing, some stretching. Looked like somebody was getting off-day workout in, but somebody else may be warm enough to come in when necessary for the Saltcats. That next pitch is popped up, and that is going to land in foul territory. Shirokata not able to get over there in time. So Sean Stoney will go take a shortcut across the diamond back to first base as Oliver Ray returns back to the batter's box with an 0-1 count with 2 outs here in the third inning. Aiello steps off for a moment. He's back on the pitcher's plate. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That is low and outside, a ball one. 1-1 on Oliver Ray. Check swing. Misses, ball two. That's another missed pitch. 3-1 on Oliver Ray. Three balls and one strike. Two outs here in the top of the third. 2 runs in this inning, and that's in there, called strike two. So Aiello working his way up to a full count. Runner goes, pitch misses, and that is ball 4. So we got runners at first and second now with 2 outs for Jackson Grant, the catcher. Grant doubled his last at-bat. And when he led off, I'm sorry, not led off, but when he batted last in the second inning. Jackson Grant, a junior at Montclair State University, coming in at 6 foot even and 200 pounds. Left-hander takes ball 1. Here's the 1-0 from Aiello. Swing and a miss, strike one. 1 ball and 1 strike now on Jackson Grant. Two outs on the Saltcats. Aiello deals, and that ball's coming right at me. Holy cow. And, it's a good thing I'm not 15 feet tall. That would have hit me right in the face. There's 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's the pitch from Aiello. That's low and outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Here in the third inning. Rapids trail by 2. Aiello trying to dispose of Jackson Grant. Here's the pitch, and that is grounded, grabbed by Ocastle. Throw home in time. How did that happen, huh? So that ends up being what? A fielder's choice, 6-3-2. And Stoney is out. 6-3-2 for out number 3. Oh, we can almost see him. It's time for Name That Tune, courtesy of 93 Tunes. I hear the song. Let's see if this fan can get the correct song. and it was Two Princes by Spin Doctors. Close, but no cigar. It's all right. It's been a while since we've had, since we've danced to that one-hit wonder. All right, 2 runs for the Syracuse Saltcats in the top of the 3rd inning. They lead 3-1. Coming up to bat in the bottom of the 3rd for the Watertown Rapids, it's the designated hitter, number 14, Scott LaMountain, followed by the 3rd baseman, Xavier Miles, and then our catcher, Jorge Rodriguez. Well, according to Rachel, our public address announcer, it is time for Scott LaMountain to step into the box. Scott is 1 for 1. He hit a single his last at-bat. First pitch low and inside, ball 1. Scott LaMountain, a sophomore at King University. Comes in here 6 foot even, 235 pounds. That pitch inside, ball 2, 2-0. And I hear a fan that sounds very much like the hype man, Jay Madison, as strike 1 is called on Scott LaMountain. 2 balls and 1 strike on the designated hitter. A swing and a miss, strike 2. Van Marta got the fastball by him, although Van Marta has been favoring his breaking balls. There it is, and LaMountain not able to slow the bat down enough for it. Swings and misses at that one for strike number 3. That'll bring up Xavier Miles, the 3rd baseman. He got a single his last at-bat as well. Xavier, 6 foot 2 inches tall, 230 pounds, from East Central Community College. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Here's the 0-1 on Xavier. Oh, that one's high, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike on Miles. Slows down for that breaking pitch. Was on it, just off a little bit. 1 ball and 2 strikes as he fouled that one straight back. And there is strike 3, out number 2. So with 2 outs, that brings up the catcher, Jorge Rodriguez. Jorge, 6 foot even, 205 pounds, from Curry College. He struck out swinging his last at-bat. That fastball he turns on, and this goes into center field and is caught by center fielder Chase Haglin. Well, it sounded nice. It just didn't travel far enough. So 1, 2, 3 go the Rapids, and after 3 innings of play, they trail the Syracuse Saltcats by a score of 3-1. Coming up for the Saltcats in the top of the fourth inning, it's their 8-9-1 batters, Mason Smith, Kellen Penns, and Brian White. All right, new pitcher for the Rapids, number 17, Tyler Sovey. Sovey he's given up 9 runs in 8 innings. That's a 10.13 ERA. Two strikeouts and 2 walks. First pitch is swung on and hit left field, and it goes directly to Nate Figueroa for out number 1. So with 1 out, that brings up Kellen Penns to the plate.
Syracuse number 0, Kellen Penns.
First pitch to Kellen is a strike. Kellen is a freshman at Brockport State University of New York, originally from Syracuse. He hits that ball. That goes to second, fielded by Damon Asensio. Throw over to first in time. 4-3 goes that put out for out number 2. That'll bring the Syracuse Saltcats back to the top of the order. Brian White stepping up to the plate. Brian White, originally from Yorktown Heights in New York. He's 5'11", 180 pounds. 1 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a single. That pitch bounces in front of the plate for ball number 1. Swing and a miss, a 1-1 on White. Swung on, grounded down to first base line. Grabbed by Finarelli. He didn't even realize he had it. Recovers, tosses to Sovey, and 1, 2, 3 go to Saltcats in the top of the 4th inning. Coming up in the bottom of the 4th for Watertown, it's the 6, 7, 8 batters, Tommy O'Castle, Damon Asensio, and Sam Finarelli, ready to get things going for the offense of these Watertown Rapids. Warm-ups are done between innings. It is time for Tommy O'Castle to step up to the plate. First pitch low and outside, ball 1. To Tommy, swing and a miss, 1-1. O'Castle, a 5'10", 175-pound sophomore from Leslie University. Ground ball to second and thrown out for the first out of the inning. So with 1 out, that'll bring up Damon Asensio to the plate. Asensio's 1 for 1. He hit a double. 5'8", 190 pounds. Sophomore at the Community College of Rhode Island. Pitches a ball to Damon. 1-0's in there, calls strike 1. 1-1 on Asensio with 1 out in the 4th inning. Swung on, and that is backhanded diving stop at short. Throw to first in time for out number 2. So that was a great grab, great range by Mason Smith at shortstop for the Saltcats. So now with 2 outs, that brings up first baseman Sam Finarelli. Struck out looking his last at-bat. Finarelli misses ball 1. Sam is nearly a giant. He's 6'4", 230 pounds. Freshman at Long Island University takes called strike 1. Miss, strike 2 on Finarelli. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the 4th. Martin sets Finarelli lifts this one into right field, diving and missing though in right field is Hector Gonzalez, and Finarelli comes in all the way to third base with a triple. That is a lot of body to race around those bases to come away with a triple. What a run for Finarelli. Now with 2 outs and a runner on third, that brings up Rex Shirakata to the plate. First pitch to Rex, it bounces away. Wild pitch, ball 1. A run scored for the Rapids. The score is now, sorry about that. It is 3-2. 1-0 is the count on Rex. That pitch in there, called strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike on the right fielder. Rex is a sophomore at Herkimer Community College. Takes called strike 2. Weighing 165 pounds at 5 foot 9 inches. Swing and a miss for right 3, and that'll do it for out number 3 for the Watertown Rapids. But they squeeze out a run, and after 4 innings of play, it is 3-2 in favor of the Saltcats. Coming up in the top of the 5th inning for Syracuse, it is their 2-3-4 batters, Chase Haglund, Hector Gonzalez, and John Tomshow coming to bat. Here's Chase Haglund to get things started for Syracuse. And the first pitch swinging, lifts this one out into left field. Camping out underneath it and making the grab, Nate Figueroa for out number 1. So with 1 out, that brings up Hector Gonzalez to the plate. Hector's 0 for 1. He popped out to center and walked. Came around to score after that walk. First pitch misses, ball 1 from Tyler Sovey. 1-0 count on Gonzalez. That ball misses low, 2-0. Gonzalez, originally from Liverpool, so a local kid playing for Syracuse. Here's the 2-0, and he hits this one down the right field line, foul. Strike one. New ball for Sovey. 2 balls and 1 strike on Gonzalez. Pitch from Sovey, swing and a miss, strike 2 on Gonzalez. Here's the 2-2 from Sovey. Outside, 3-2. Here's the payoff pitch, and that's low. Ball 4. And Gonzalez battles back for a walk. That's a 1-out walk for Gonzalez. That'll bring up John Tomshow to the plate. Tomshow has yet to have an official at-bat. He walked his first at-bat and got an RBI on a sac fly in his second at-bat. Or second plate appearance, I should say. So he doesn't like what he sees, steps off, gets reset. Whoa, Tomshow came around and caught that ball way early. The runner was going. Gonzalez is going to have to return back to first base. There is some activity in the Syracuse bullpen. Pitch is high for a ball. Gonzalez stays put. Looks like Thamon McGriff is in the bullpen getting warmed up for Syracuse. One count on Tomshow. And that ball is popped up. And that is going to be out of play. So strike number 2 is the best we're going to do with that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Tomshow. Small lead off first for Gonzalez. Swing and a miss for strike 3 on Tomshow. And now with 2 outs, that'll bring up Sean Stoney to the plate.
Number 3, Sean
Stoney
Stoney.
has walked twice. Both of his plate appearances ended up in a walk. Throw over to first, and back in time is Gonzalez. So with 2 outs, Tyler Sovey directs his attention to Sean Stoney. Runner goes, throw to second, goes into the outfield. Throw over to third. Oh, is dropped. Close play by Xavier Miles. And so from first to third goes Hector Gonzalez. I believe the pitch was a strike. That's in there for, I think, strike 2. And there's the throw home and out at home. Hector Gonzalez trying to steal home, not able to. 1-2 goes the put out, caught stealing. You don't see it often, but it happens. So 1-3-2 goes the Syracuse Saltcats. And after 4.5 innings, they still holding on to a 3-2 lead coming up in the bottom of the 5th inning for the Watertown Rapids. It's the top of the order. Nate Madison, Nate Figueroa, and Scott LaMountain due up.
Fire department, and I just wanted to ask Jessica, what got you into the fire department?
That's about what it is.
So what got me in the fire department is my family. My family served in the fire department for over 35 years. I wanted to do it to bring back help for my community. West Orange is the best community I've ever lived in, and if anybody would like to join, please come join us. We do have a junior program that starts at the age of 13.
Thank you. For anyone that is a first responder, we appreciate your service and we appreciate you stepping out. And if you are thinking of volunteering yourself, ask somebody who's done it before. They'll tell you it's 100% worth it. We appreciate it.
All right, another fan interview from Dan Drake and a first responder. Reminding you, tonight is first responder night. All first responders got in for free today. And as you heard, if you're interested, there's a junior program that begins at age 13 where you can start learning about what it takes to be a first responder. And nobody, I repeat, nobody that is ever volunteered to be a first responder has ever regretted it. Very rewarding and a much appreciated community service. Now stepping up on the pitcher's mound, a new pitcher for the Syracuse Saltcats, number 99, Thamon McGriff. And he's gonna be facing Nate Madison to get things started here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Thamon McGriff has not given up any runs. He's only pitched 1 complete inning. Excuse me, well, it was an unearned run. Had 2 strikeouts and 1 walk. First pitch was a ball. That one just misses. Ball 2 on Nate Madison. Nate's 0 for 1. He popped out to center and walked. Pitch up and in. 3-0 on Nate Madison. 3 balls, no strikes. Here's the 3-0. And that is called strike 1. Nate thought it was ball 4. It looked very similar to ball 3. However, it was inside the strike zone, apparently. 3 balls and 2 balls. No, 3 balls and 1 strike. There's ball 4, and Madison trots his way down to first base. More activity in the Syracuse Saltcats bullpen. Number 33, Evan Kowalczyk is warming up. Now batting Nate Figueroa. Nate reached on an error in the first and popped out to short in the second. First pitch low, ball 1. Hustling in from third base. We've got a new third baseman. Chase France playing third. As ball 2, safe at first is Nate Madison. I believe it's 2-0. No, 1-1? 1 ball, 1 strike is the count. Whoa, jumping and dancing out of the way, Nate Figueroa. 2 balls and 1 strike. That pitch is high, 3-1 on Figueroa. There's the 3-1 from McGriff, and that is fouled off by Nate. Three balls and 2 strikes. No outs, runner on first. Here's the payoff to Figueroa. Madison goes to second, and he is in there. Oh, he falls off. Oh, jumps back in time. Doesn't matter, it was ball 4. Although he came off the base, so then that would have made him going over. He would have been out on the way back had he been caught. But he wasn't caught, so everything is okay. Runners at first and second now after that walk to Figueroa. Conversation on the mound between the catcher, second baseman, and third baseman. So Sean Stoney, Chase France, and Jackson Grant having a conversation with Thamon McGriff. And now for Scott LaMountain, everybody getting their hands together as LaMountain steps into the batter's box with no outs and runners on first and second. Everyone's getting into it for LaMountain. Scott's 1 for 2, shows bunt, and it bunts back out of play. Strike 1. No balls and 1 strike to LaMountain. Another bunt attempt, and it bunts foul. 0-2 is the count. So with 2 strikes, that'll remove the threat of a bunt. And what that conversation on the mound was the second and third baseman were sharing with the catcher and pitcher where they were going to cover for a bunt. Now that is no longer needed. Here's the 0-2 pitch, misses, ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Scott LaMountain. Here's the 1-2 from McGriff. Check that. We'll get a quick reset here. LaMountain back in the batter's box. McGriff is set. And here's the 1-2 pitch. And that ball is hit, and it gets over the shortstop, goes into center field, rounding third. Coming in to score, Nate Madison. And we have a tie ball game. So Madison scores from second. Figueroa goes to second. Scott LaMountain has himself an RBI single here in the 5th inning to tie this game up at 3. Now stepping into the batter's box, Xavier Miles. First pitch to Xavier called strike 1. Miles is 1 for 2. The single back in the first, and a strikeout in his last at-bat. And Miles grounds this one. Oh, on the third, steps on third for 1, on the first for a double play. Nice play by Chase France. So that goes 5-5-3. So with 2 outs, that brings up Jorge Rodriguez to the plate. He's got a runner on second. First pitch misses low and outside, ball 1. So we got LaMountain at second. That pitch is in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs for Jorge Rodriguez here in the 5th. Sean Stoney is trying to keep LaMountain close. The ball is popped up into center field. And that is caught in center field by Chase Haglund for the 3rd and final out. But the Rapids are able to tie it up here in the 4th inning. In the 5th inning, excuse me. After 5 innings of play, it is a 3-3 ball game. Coming up to bat in the top of the 6th inning for Syracuse. It's their 5, 6, 7 batters, Sean Stoney, Oliver Ray, and Jackson Grant, all due up.
Number 3, Sean Stoney.
All right, leading off the 6th inning for the Syracuse Saltcats, it's Sean Stoney. First pitch low and outside, ball 1 on Sean. Second baseman has walked in both of his plate appearances. .1-0 is hit into center field and grabbed by Nate Madison for out number 1. with one out, that'll bring up first baseman Oliver Ray. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. First pitch low and in the dirt, ball 1 on Ray. That pitch is in there, called strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike on Oliver Ray. Sovey tosses out one just a bit high. 2-1 is the count. There's the 2-1 from Sovey, and that drops out of the zone. 3-1. A little too much break on that curveball from Sovey. Ray steps back in for the 3-1 pitch. Swung on, and he drills this one right center field. Madison over to make the grab for out number 2. So Madison showing great range out in center field. Grabbed one in left center, followed up by one in right center. And there are 2 outs as Jackson Grant steps up to the plate. And Grant sends this one to left field, and there's our left fielder, Nate Figueroa, making the grab. And the Salt Cats go down 1-2-3 here in the 6th inning. After 5.5 innings, we are tied at 3 runs apiece. Coming up in the bottom of the 6th for the Rapids, it's Jorge Rodriguez, Tommy O'Castle, and Damon Asensio.
Hello, Watertown Rapid fan. I am here on the first base side with our assistant coach, Matt. And I just want to ask, how are you enjoying your first summer here in Watertown?
We love Watertown. We got the t-shirts made up for the boys. Water Vegas, we love you. We're going to win the game for you. Let's go Rapids.
What else you got to say for us, the fans, for the rest of the year?
We're going to win the championship. Guys, we're going to bring our championship back to Watertown. Here we go, guys.
Thank you, Matt. Let's play some more ball.
And there you hear from assistant coach Matt McGillicuddy. Says we're going to come back and win the championship. Let's see what Matt's got in store for us here.
To bat for your Watertown Rapids, number 12, Tommy O'Castle.
All right, leading off for the Rapids here in the 6th inning, it's the shortstop, Tommy O'Castle. First pitch in there, called strike 1. Thank you. There's a swing and a miss, strike 2 on Tommy O'Castle. which misses. Ball one. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Tommy. Tommy's 0 for 2. He hit a line drive to center field his first at-bat and grounded out to second. His second at-bat, this time he lifts this one out into center field. And in shallow center field, Chase Haglund grabs that one for out number 1. So with 1 out, that brings up Damon Asensio. Asensio's 1 for 2 with a double and a ground out to short. First pitch to Damon, high, ball 1. That's in there, called strike 1. One ball and 1 strike on Asensio. That one just misses. 2-1 to Damon. Check swing, and rightfully so, 3-1 for Damon Asensio. And that ball is fouled back and out of play. 3-2 for Damon. Three balls and 2 strikes with 1 out here in the 6th inning. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Asensio was reaching for the fences on that one. So now with 2 outs, that brings up the first baseman, Sam Finarelli. Sam is 1 for 2 with a triple, a strikeout, and a run scored. Sam, originally from Hunlock Creek, Pennsylvania. And he hits that first one through the infield into left field for a 2-out single here in the 6th inning. So now, with 2 outs and a runner on first, here's Rex Shirakawa. Wrecked, as you know, originally from Iruma, Saitama, Japan. Takes ball 1 here in the 6th inning. Finarelli takes his secondary, and Rex lifts this one up into left field and over to make the grab for out number 3. It's John Tomshow, the left fielder. Well, the Rapids try, but after 6 innings, it's tied at 3 here in Watertown. Coming up in the top of the 7th inning for Syracuse, it is their 8, 9, and 1 batters. Mason Smith. And then we get to see Chase France at the plate for the first time. And then back to the top of the order in Brian White. We'll be back.
The Rapids would like to thank the Watertown Family YMCA for being the official gym of your Watertown Rapids. Make this summer one to remember with Watertown Family YMCA Summer Fun Camp. Adventure, friendship, fun, and memories that last a lifetime. Watertown Family YMCA Summer Fun Camp. Your lane to summer memories.
That first pitch to Mason Smith is fouled off for strike number 1. Another foul ball goes back and over the grandstand. So no balls and 2 strikes on Mason Smith. Smith is originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He reaches for that one and lifts it into shallow center field for a leadoff single here in the 7th inning. So that'll bring up Chase Franz for his first at-bat of the game. Swing and a miss. Oh no, he just tipped it back into the glove of Jorge Rodriguez. 0-1 is the count. Throw over to first is in time. No? It was in time for me, but I don't get to make that call. So safe at first base, Mason Smith. That was a close one. There's a ground ball. Diving stop by Xavier Miles. Throws to first in time to get the out. Nice play by Xavier Miles. So 5-3 goes that put out. Mason Smith advances to second, and now with a runner on second, that brings us to the ball is fouled off. 0-2. That's Aaron Graves pinch hitting for Brian White. And a swing and a miss, strike 3 on Graves. That'll bring up center fielder Chase Hagelin. He's popped out twice, once to left, once to center, and he walked and scored a run back in the 3rd inning. Here he is with 2 outs and a runner on second. First pitch misses, ball 1 on Hagelin. That one misses 2-0. Here's the 2-0 from Sovey. Is high, 3-0. Three balls and no strikes on Chase Haglund. And Sovey finally throws a strike. 3-1 is the count. So Haglund looking for something to swing at. Sovey deals, and he swings at that one, and it is grabbed by Damon Asensio for out number 3. Line drive right at the second baseman. And after 6.5 innings, it's still a 3-3 game, and it's time to get up and stretch. The Johnson School of Irish Dance. Let's check them out one more time.
I hope it goes extra. You definitely. I just need to. We have 2.5 minutes left. Go to last call.
Here's the 1-1 to Madison. That's foul back and out of play. And I found him. He's here as a fan this time. And there he is. There is Mr. J. Madison himself. Misses ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Nate Madison, while Jay Madison is here on his day off to cheer on the Rapids. Where else would you be? Ball is fouled, out of play. Nate's 0 for 1 with 2 walks. And this ball, he lifts this into right field, and it is caught in right field by Hector Gonzalez for the first out of the inning. Next up,
To the plate for Watertown, number 6, Nate Figueroa.
Figueroa is 0 for 1. Reached on an error back in the first inning. Bombed out to short and then walked last inning. First pitch misses, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Oh, it hit him. He tried to move out of the way, and he got all locked up. He takes first base the hard way. That's the first hit by pitch this game. That will put Nate Figueroa at first base with 1 out for Scott LaMountain. Everybody getting their hands together to cheer on Scott LaMountain. That's what happens when you pick a good walk-up song. First pitch from McGriff goes off the glove of Jackson Grant. No throw to second as Nate Madison slides in the second for fun. 1-0 is the count on LaMountain. One 1-0 is thrown back to second before the shortstop got there. Fortunately, it was a soft enough throw that nothing detrimental happened for Syracuse. So 1-0, that is popped up and out of. No, that is going to disappear out of range. 1 ball and 1 strike on Scott LaMountain. One ball, 1 strike, and 1 out for Scott LaMountain. You're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Timing's all off for LaMountain. He steps out. As McGriff waits. LaMountain back in the box. And McGriff has his sign. Oh, throw back over to second, and it's thrown away. Advancing to third is Nate Figueroa. Timeout being called by the Saltcats coach. Everybody's coming in. Ready. I think he's just going out to settle down McGriff. Since coach is letting his players on the field, Cameron Martinstein talks with his players on the field. This guy, Figueroa through third over there. He's talking with Mountain and Xavier Miles. Matt McGill's over there as well. Now, the umpire motion to go over, start breaking it up, and Martinstein gets the signal and retreats back onto the base, breaks it up. Now he's finishing, whispering the sweet nothings to Nate Figueroa, who's at third.
Oh, that one bounces in front of the plate. Nicely blocked by Jackson Grant. Scott Lamount gets himself resituated. More activity out in the bullpen for Syracuse. Fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Looks like Landon Browning is getting loose in the Syracuse bullpen. See him back there, pitching towards us. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Lamount, and that's low, 3-2. Figueroa with his lead off third. Here's the payoff pitch to Lamount, and it's in the dirt, ball 4. Or is that ball 3? Oh, that was ball 3.
Let's go, get him here.
Okay, now it's a full count. Hits him. That's a way to make sure that nobody advances. So the runner is at the corners. Here comes our second mound visit, and that's going to do it for Amos McGriff. Now coming in, this is number 45. I like the welcome that the pitcher gets from all of the bench players. I think Katrina was brainstorming. JT Craig, who is number 45.
Takes you back to the IC days.
Nope, that's 39. My bad. Nope. Oh, you got nothing.
Everyone knows you gotta start with shouting. It's all downhill. He did the
Now pitching for the Syracuse Bobcats, number 45, Jack Cole.
Well,
Number 45 is Jack Cole.
he met his
On the roster, he's
DJ Kerwin. So watch out, Mark. I told him that. I thought you went to Birmingham.
Jack Cole, right-hander freshman from Niagara University.
From the shutout, for Watertown Rapids, number 37, Junior Miles.
Good thing I didn't bring it up in my speech.
Nothing of record anyway.
As you guys know,
Stepping up to face it is number 37, Xavier Miles. And there's a stolen base.
Let's go, kid.
They're so generous. They love us ramming everybody in that tiny basement.
And that ball is hit into the outfield. Figueroa is going to score. LaMountain rounds third. Here's the play at the plate, and the ball is thrown away. Coming around second and halfway. No, he's going back to second. That is a 2 RBI double for Xavier Miles as Figueroa and LaMountain come in to score. And just like that, the Watertown Rapids take a 5-3 lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Now batting number 19, the catcher, Jorge Rodriguez. And 0 for 3. A strikeout, pop out, and a ground out. Here he is with 1 out and a runner in scoring position. That ball gets away, and that's going to allow Miles to take third. So Xavier Miles on third base.
Welcome to Water Vegas, boys. The later you stay, the crazier it gets.
There's the 1-0 to Rodriguez, misses 2-0.
You guys would love it.
So 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out. 5-3 lead here in the bottom of the 7th. There's a call, strike 1, 2 balls and 1 strike on Jorge Rodriguez. There's a pitch right down the middle, 2-2 on Jorge. Misses outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes on Rodriguez. Here's the payoff pitch from Pohl, and Rodriguez hits this one. Shortstop throws it home. Did he drop the ball? He did not. Rodriguez reaches on a fielder's choice. 6-2 goes that put out for an out
number 12, Tommy
So now with a runner on first and 2 outs, Tommy O'Castle steps into the batter's box. Tommy's 0 for 3 with a line drive out to center, a pop fly out to center, a ground out to second. Now that ball is fouled out of play. 0-1 is the count on Tommy O'Castle. Low and inside, 1-1 on O'Castle. Here's the 1-1 from Jack Pohl. Inside, 2-1. O'Castle lays a bunt down. It's bobbled by Pohl. Throw to first, not in time, and it pulled the first baseman off the bag anyway. So that was a difficult play. Runners at first and second and 2 outs. David Asensio steps up to the plate. David's 1 for 3 with a double strikeout and a ground out. First pitch in there, called strike 1. Runners at first and second for Asensio. He's looking to get an RBI here. Try to help his team out. That one's low, 1-1. Watertown with a 5-3 lead over Syracuse here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Oh, Damon tried to hold up, unable to. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Let's go, Jackson. Go. Your time and yours. Let's go.
Let's go, buddy. Let's go. We're gonna. Oh, I'm getting hungry again. What am I gonna have?
Here's the 1-2 pitch. And that is ripped out into left field. And it drops down between left and center field. Picked up by the center fielder, Chase Haglund. He throws that ball into the cutoff. It's an RBI, a 2 RBI double for David Asensio. Rapids take a 7-3 lead. And with 2 outs and a runner on second, that'll bring up the first baseman, Sam Finarelli. Finarelli's 2 for 3 with a single, a triple, a strikeout, and a run scored so far in this game. Here's Asensio leading off second. First pitch to Finarelli. Falls short of the plate, 1-0 to Sam. Here's the 1-0 to Finarelli. That's in there, called strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike on Finarelli. And that ball is hit to third, fielded at third by France, and he throws it over to first in time for out number 3. But the Rapids pick up 4 runs in the bottom half of the 7th inning, and after 7 innings of play, they lead by a score of 7-3. Coming up to bat in the top of the 8th inning for Syracuse, it is their 3-4-5 batters, Gonzalez, Tomshow, and Stoney, coming up here in the 8th. First pitch to Hector Gonzalez, misses, ball 1.
2 balls and 1 strike is the count on Hector Gonzalez. Check swing, ball misses 3-1. There's the 3-1 from Sovey, misses a ball 4. So after a leadoff walk, that'll bring up John Tomshow to the plate. John is 0 for 1 with a strikeout, a sac fly, an RBI, and a walk. Throw over to first, and diving back in time is Gonzalez. Gonzalez has 2 stolen bases on the day already. Sovey would like to keep him at first base. My pitch is high. Ball 1 for Tomshow. There's a riser, 2-0. Looks like that one popped out of the top of Sovey's hand there. He may have been trying to throw maybe a cutter or something, and his finger just slipped off the laces, perhaps. So a little conversation between Sovey and Rodriguez on the mound. Looks like things are okay now. 2 balls and no strikes on Tomshow. Gonzalez is lead off first. That ball is popped up first base side, and that's going to be out of play. Lands on the other side of the first base, the home dugout bleachers. So there is activity out in the Rapids bullpen. There's another foul ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Looks like Cooper Jocelyn from Mohawk Valley Community College is getting a loose out in the Rapids bullpen. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Tomshow. So he deals, and that ball is chopped to third, and Rodriguez not able to grab it cleanly. I think he may have been looking before he had that whole ball. So now with runners at first and second, that'll bring up Sean Stoney, the center fielder. He is 0 for 1 with 2 walks and a pop out. Runners at first and second here in the top of the 8th inning. First pitch is low to Stoney, ball 1. Rapids with a 7-3 lead. Certainly don't want to be giving anything back to Syracuse here in the 8th if they can help it. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Stoney. Another low one, 2-0. Here's the 2-0 from Sovey. Inside, 3-0. So Stoney's the number 5 hitter. Generally with a 3-0 count, you don't swing unless you think it's going to be a fastball right down the middle. And this one is ball 4. So the bases are loaded for Oliver Ray. And I think that's going to do it, and it is. That's going to do it for Sovey as Cooper Jocelyn comes in from the bullpen to take over for Tyler Sovey. Jocelyn's a 5'9", 170-pound freshman from Mohawk Valley Community College, originally from Lowville, New York, the home of Philadelphia cream cheese. He's got a 2.12 ERA. He's pitched 17 innings, given up 4 earned runs, 15 hits, 10 walks, and 11 strikeouts, and 2 hit batsmen. So the walk to strikeout ratio is not ideal, but the ERA is pretty darn good, especially for 17 innings pitched here in summer ball for Cooper Jocelyn. So Cooper Jocelyn coming in with the bases loaded. Loaded with the first 3 Syracuse batters of the 8th inning. And it looks like Cooper's all warmed up. Oliver Ray stepping in to the batter's box. Ray represents the tying run of the ball game. All right, here's Ray. Oliver Ray and the right-hander in the batter's box. First pitch from Jocelyn, swung on, and this is lifted into center field. Coming over is Nate Madison. He makes the catch. Here's the play at the plate, and he is out! Double play! So the runners advance. Tom Show goes to third, Stoney to second, but there are 2 outs here in the 8th inning. That is a great catch and throw by Nate Thompson. See the ball, hit the ball, catch the ball, throw the ball, and throw the ball he did. So now with 2 outs and runners at second and third, here is Jackson Grant. Jackson got a double back in the 2nd inning, reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd inning, and then hit a line drive right to left field in the 6th inning. Here he is now, 1-0 count. That ball is hit fouled out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike on Jackson Grant. Jocelyn deals, and this ball is hit out into left field, and chasing after that ball, Nate Figueroa finally gets it, throws it in. So that is a 2-run double for Jackson Grant. So 2 RBIs for the catcher. And the score is now 7-5 in favor of the Rapids. So with 2 runs in and 2 outs on the board, that'll bring up the shortstop, number 19, Mason Smith. Smith is 1 for 3 with a strikeout, a line out, and a single. That first pitch misses, ball 1. You got Grant at second, Smith at the plate. That pitch is outside, 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes on the number 8 hitter. That ball goes high, 3-0. Smith, a sophomore at Dartmouth College, is originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Here's the 3-0 pitch. I imagine this bat stays on his shoulder. He shows bunt, pulls back, called strike 1. That pitch was in the upper part of the strike zone. It was actually a pretty good pitch to bunt. That was, called strike 2. Mason Smith thought it was ball 4, tossed the bat away. Home plate umpire rung him up on strike number 2. Now with a full count and 2 outs with a runner on second. Let's see if Cooper Jocelyn can take advantage. That ball is fouled out of play. So staying alive is Mason Smith. Jocelyn's going to try again to end the inning with a 2-run lead. And that ball is hit, grounded to short, bobbled, throw, not in time. Runners at first and third. So runners at the corners for Chase France. First pitch to France is in there, called strike 1. Oh, and 1 to France. Runner goes and no throw. Pitch is a ball, 1-1 to Chase. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs and 2 on. Jocelyn deals, and that is called strike 2. Jocelyn, 1 pitch away from getting out of this jam that he was thrust into. And he steps off. He wants to get himself resituated and get a new set of signs. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And that ball is popped up, first base side, and that's going to be out of play. We'll do the 1-2 pitch again. Runners at second and third. Jocelyn leans in to get his sign. Chase Front swings, and this ball is lifted into right field, shallow, and caught by Damon Asensio to end the inning. So Syracuse puts on 2 runs in their half of the 8th after 7.5 innings. It is Watertown Rapids 7, the Syracuse Saltcats 5. Coming up in the bottom of the 8th inning for Watertown, it is Rex Shirokata, Nate Madison, and Nate Figueroa. No, pinch hitting for Rex Shirokata is number 15, Will Harrison. First pitch to Will misses, ball 1. That pitch is in there, called strike 1. 1-1 to Will Harrison. Harrison comes into the game batting .283. That's 13 for 46. Two balls and 1 strike on Harrison. Two balls and 2 strikes on Will. 7-5 lead for the Rapids here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Here's the 2-2 to pinch hitting Will Harrison. Check swing, ball is low, ball 3. 3-2. Full count to Will Harrison. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Harrison down swinging for out number 1. That'll bring us to the top of the order, Nate Madison. Nate's 0 for 2 with 2 pop-outs and 2 walks. I like the moves. First pitch to Nate is high, ball 1. Misses inside, 2-0 on Nate Madison. Check swing called, strike one. 2 balls and 1 strike on Nate. Nate Madison hits this one. That goes up the middle. Oh, it goes off the second baseman. Not able to field it. And that's a 1-out hit for the Rapids and Nate Madison. So now with 1 out and a runner on first, that'll bring up Nate Figueroa to the plate. Nate Figueroa he's walked once, he's reached on an error, and he's been hit by a pitch. He also popped out to short. That's a called strike one on Figueroa. Madison with his standard lead off of first and fakes the run to second. Pitches a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike on Figueroa. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. That ball is hit, and it goes just past the pitcher, fielded by the shortstop. Throw to first, not in time. Throw over to third, and the ball is knocked away. Madison, oh, he's caught. It's a pickle! And he gets tagged out, but he spent enough time to allow Figueroa to get to second. Timeout called by Chase France. So Figueroa reaches, he beat that ball out, outran it, infield single, ends up at second. Nate Madison is thrown out. It goes 6, 3, 5, 2, 1, 2, 5, I think, for out number 2, if I remember correctly. So that brings up Scott LaMountain. And LaMountain swings at the first pitch, and it goes into left field. Got runners at first and third with 2 outs. So now with 2 outs and runners at the corners, that'll bring up Xavier Miles, who's 2 for 4 with a single, a double, a strikeout, and a ground out. And 3 RBIs on the day so far. First pitch to Xavier, outside, and it gets away from Jackson Grant, and that'll score Nate Figueroa with ease. Staying at second is Scott LaMountain. So that most definitely will be scored a wild pitch. Watertown now with an 8-5 lead. Home plate umpire has his pockets filled with balls. And it's a 1-0 count to Xavier Miles. That's called strike one. 1-1 on Miles. Scott LaMountain leading off second, and that ball is grounded to third. Throw to first is in time for out number 3. But the Rapids pick up a run, and after 8 innings of play, the Rapids have the lead 8-5 here in Watertown. Coming up in the top of the 9th inning for Syracuse, it's Aaron Graves, Chase Hagland, and Hector Gonzalez to try to stay alive.
I wouldn't have sent them. They got him in the pickle.
Yeah, we didn't know where the ball was going to go.
They didn't even go that far.
Yeah.
It was like halfway. I'm like, well. Put him down, three. Put him down. Put him on his feet.
They've been here like twice. They were here once. They were mad that this wasn't the home dugout, and then they came. What's that? Is it actually? It's not extra to sit over there. It's extra to sit by the picnic tables. I don't know. I think just the picnic tables. And then they came back and sat here and befriended the away team, and were rooting for them.
Fair weather drinkers.
It's all right. They told the whole team to subscribe to my YouTube channel, so
There you go.
it's all right. Okay, now stepping up to the plate here, Aaron Graves. Struck out in his one at bat. Swing and a miss, strike one at the first one. Hey, Joe, they also got girlfriends, so they totally calmed down. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw that one coming. Another swing and a miss, strike two on Aaron Graves. Graves is a senior at Lincoln University, originally from Brandywine, Maryland. Here's the 0-2, and it's called strike three. Cooper Jocelyn coming in, throwing business here in the ninth inning. With one out, that'll bring up center fielder Chase Hagland. He's popped out twice, lined out once, walked and scored once. First pitch is a strike. Let's watch them from behind the plate, shall we? Check swing. Ball just misses. Ball one. 1-1 on Chase Hagland. Jocelyn deals, swung on, ground ball to first, and taking it by himself is Finarelli. 3 unassisted for out number 2. And the Rapids are 1 out away from a victory, from ending their 7-game losing streak. That brings up Hector Gonzalez. Hector is 1 for 1 with a single, 2 stolen bases. He reached on an error and 2 walks. First pitch low and in the dirt, ball 1. The 1-0 from Cooper, and this ball is belted into left field and caught in left field by Nate Figueroa for out number 3. The Rapids win 8-5, and the Rapids have made it a great day.
Watertown Rapids 8 and the Syracuse Saltcats 5. Join us for our next home
next home game is on Friday, this Friday, when the Rochester Ridgemen come to town. First pitch, 6:30. Gates open at 5:30. Look forward to seeing you here. This game ends in an 8-5 victory for the Watertown Rapids, and it's been a long-awaited, well-deserved win for the Rapids. We've got some fans on field celebrating with the team.
And this guy said, let's go Rapids right before your hit, so he gave you the luck. So would you sign the ball for him? And as you guys are leaving, can I get one more let's go Rapids? Have a great night.
Let's go Rapids. A lucky fan who provided the luck for Damon Asensio to get that hit. He's going to walk away with an autographed baseball from the one, the only, Damon Asensio. So again, this game ends in a victory for the Rapids. We told you they could do it. They are a well put together team. Next home game is Friday, as the Rochester Ridgemen come to town. I believe tomorrow they go to Rochester. So you can always watch those games on NYCBL.com. I am the Dan Dallin, a positive influence, reminding you, don't wait for it to be a good day, make it a great day.